There we go. So welcome everyone to the Talk Text Train Day virtual series. We had 2 sessions so far on ACP and the National Federation of Blind and a few other resources through NPower and through Comcast. And today we have Diane with us. She's from Blindshell, and she will be walking us through the device which Blindshell has been providing through our partner from Met organization. And I do have Jane here with me. So Jane, if you want to give a few words, and then we'll, forward it over to Diane to take us.
Yeah, I'm just excited that everyone's here. And Diane, we are looking forward to all that you're going to teach us. Everybody keep in mind that the chat is disabled. We're not going to be using that during the presentation. If we need to drop information in, we'll do so at the appropriate time. So we're encouraging everyone to ask questions when Diane is ready to take them, and raise your hand and you'll be called on by Vishnu to come to the floor and ask your questions. So let's go for it. Okay, thanks, Diane.
All right, thanks, Jane. Thank you, everyone. So first, if you didn't notice that the this is recording and you have to hit the got it button came up, you want to do that on your whatever device you're using to attend this meeting. So go down and click on that got it button first. So this is the Blindshell, and you all have one. So in your box, you're going to find what somebody would find. Yours is a little different because Jane and her team so graciously put it all together for you. But I'm going to tell you how to assemble it so that when somebody gets a Blindshell, they will know. So that's the first thing that I'm going to do. So if you turn the phone so that the buttons are in your hand, the back of the phone on the very bottom left corner on the back, you'll feel a little groove that you can stick your nail in. So you're going to use that groove to peel off the back. It may sound like you're breaking it, but you're not. You're just peeling off the back. And then you'll find the battery. So the battery can only go in one way. So when you're orienting somebody to how it goes in, tell them that the part that's sticking up goes on the top right so that they can put the battery in there. And when you take the battery out, it's important to note that there are 3 slots back there. The one, again, if the phone is in the palm of your hand, the one all the way on the right is the SD card slot. So it takes a micro SD card. Originally, it was up to 128 gigs, but now I know people are putting a 256 in and it's working just fine. Just make sure it's a micro one. The slot in the middle is generally where I tell people to put their SIM cards. Again, it's a micro SIM card. So you can put it on the left too, but for some reason, sometimes with some carriers it works over there, sometimes it doesn't. So I just say keep it in the middle slot. And we get the question all the time, why does it have 2 SIM card slots? And the reason is because the phone is sold all over the world. And in other countries where they travel from, country to country, they want 2 SIM cards in there. So I'm gonna put the battery back in, and again, it goes with that notch on the top right, and it just sits in there. Put it in from the bottom, and then just lay it in there. And then I'm gonna put the back onto the phone. So while I'm talking about SIM cards, I'll just go over the carriers that can be used with the Blindshell. So right out of the box, if you put a micro SIM card in, T-Mobile or anybody who uses their towers will work. So if you use, say, Mint or Metro, Tello, or T-Mobile proper, right out of the box, put the SIM card in, you're going to get a signal. If you're using AT&T or anyone who uses their towers, then once the SIM card is in there, you have to make some APN setting changes. And I could forward everybody the directions on what those APN setting changes are. They're not hard. There's 12 different fields that you have to fill in. Most of them are just a combo box that you select one. A couple you have to actually use the keypad and type it in, but it's not that difficult. The third carrier, Verizon, is kind of a tricky situation, because if you take our phone into a Verizon store and they look up the IMEI number, they'll say it's not a supported device, but we have tons of people using a Verizon SIM card in their phone. The reason that Verizon says it's not a compatible device is because it's not an Apple or a Samsung. So the way people are getting around that is that they can, if somebody has a phone right now, say they have another flip phone or an iPhone that they're using Verizon with, they can take the SIM card out of that phone, and if it is a iPhone, that's a nano size. So you just need to get one of these little tiny adapters that you find all over a cell phone store. Just snap the SIM card in there, and then it'll fit. Another way is, especially here, like our office is in Timonium, Maryland. We have a Verizon store down the street. Really cool guy called Kennard. He's like, no problem. He said, I'll just make a default SIM card, put it in your Blindshell, boom, it works. So depending on who you get, this could be a very easy transition if you're using Verizon, or it could be difficult. So basically, it's up to the person to decide what carrier they want to use. We also have Blindshell Mobile, which uses the ACP program. So if somebody meets the requirements that Bindu was talking about Vishnu, my hairdresser's name is Bindu. I'm sorry, Vishnu. If Vishnu was talking about last time, then if you're on SSI, or if you are on Medicaid or housing or SNAP, you're automatically qualified for the Blindshell Mobile ACP plan, which will give you unlimited talk, text, and data for free. And it's the same income requirements too. $29,160 a year or less will get you the unlimited talk, text, and data for free, but you'd have to provide documentation if you're going based on income. So the Blindshell phone is not, well, the Blindshell phone is free if you go through the MAT program, but I'm talking about Blindshell Mobile, which is the cell plan. So it's free if you meet the qualifications of either being on a benefit such as SSI or Medicaid, or you meet the income requirements. So basically, to sum all that up, you can use T-Mobile. You can use AT&T with some setting changes. You can use Verizon if you either take the card from another device or have a very understanding Verizon retail store person who will help you create a default device SIM card, or you can use Blindshell Mobile, which is based on the ACP program, which uses Easy Wireless, which uses T-Mobile towers. So again, you stick that SIM card in there and you'll be good to go. So the way a SIM card would go in is, yes, Blindshell Mobile is completely free. It seems like the chat box is on, but
yeah, we do want to disable that chat box, please, and hold any chat questions until Diane lets us know, just as out of respect for our blind participant. Thank you.
Yeah, so and if you don't quite understand what's going on, every chat that it goes into the chat box. I'm hearing, so it's kind of distracting me from the direction that I'm trying to go in. So the way a SIM card would go in is it's a micro SIM card. So in the Blindshell, that means that that SIM card will fit snugly from left to right in the slot. A nano SIM card, which a lot of people try to put in here, will fit, it'll go in, but there'll be a lot of wiggle room from left to right. You want to make sure that the SIM card you're putting in the Blindshell fits snugly from left to right. No wiggle room at all. And the way it's going to go in is the cut out corner, it's a square. So the four corners on the SIM card, the top left corner is going to be cut out on an angle. That will always go in the top left of the slot. So you'll lay it down, the SIM card, you'll lay it down in the slot with that cutout on the top left and just push it in and make sure it's in there so that when you move the phone around, it's not going to fall out. Just make sure it's in there securely. So that's how a SIM card goes in. And if you are visually impaired and you need some help, then believe it or not, the first time I had to put a SIM card in, I mean, I called a combination of Ira and Be My Eyes, and they helped me to get that SIM card in there. So those are some resources that you can use. And I'm sure you can call Vishnu's help desk or Craig's help desk, and they will also walk you through how to put a SIM card in. So now I'm going to actually get to the phone. So I'm turning it on. There's a slash above the number 3, a diagonal slash. If you hold that down for 3 seconds, you'll feel the phone vibrate. And then let the button go. And then within 30 seconds, you'll hear the little tune of the Blindshell to let you know that it is on.
7.
So let me turn it up.
Volume 10.
So if you're looking at the front of the Blindshell, which is where the screen and the buttons are, there is the screen. The screen is for display only. So there's no swiping or tapping on the screen. It's all menu driven. Underneath the screen, I'm going to go over what those buttons are. So directly under the screen on the left-hand side, I call it a notification button or a status button. It's a little button, feels like a braille dot. And that button will tell you, so I'll press it.
One new notification. 1 of 6.
So this is where I would find text messages, system updates from Blindshell, app updates from Blindshell. This will tell me if I had a missed call. So that's kind of your notification. But when it said 1 of 6, that means that there are 6 different options in this menu. So I'm going to use the lower bar and go down to the next one.
1520, Tuesday, October 24th.
Gives you the time and the date.
2 of 6.
So on Blindshell, you can go into the settings and you can either use the normal 1 through 12 time, or you can use the 24-hour or military time.
Wi-Fi state connected to Equifi.
So this
Signal
is
strength,
the Wi-Fi
99%.
telling
3 of
you
6.
if you're connected or not. So the first thing that you should do when you're working with somebody, if possible, if you're in their home or if you're helping them over the phone, is to get them connected to their Wi-Fi.
Bluetooth enabled, no connected devices.
So then
4 of
next
6.
thing down is Bluetooth. So you can Bluetooth headphones, speakers, and Bluetooth keyboards to the Blindshell. And you can also Bluetooth the Hable, which you all have in your knapsacks.
Signal strength 50% 4G.
The next
Carrier
thing is your
tele.
signal
Mobile
strength.
data enabled.
So it'll
Data
tell
usage,
you,
113.57 megabytes.
It
5
will
of 6.
tell you what your signal strength is, who the carrier is, and also how much mobile data you have used. And the next one down
Battery state 96%.
is your
6 of
battery
6.
level. So that said 6 of 6. Okay, so that's the last thing. But the one thing about Blindshell menus
1 new notification
is they wrap
1 of
around.
6.
So you can keep hitting the down bar, or if you know something is at the bottom that you want to get to, you could hit the top bar and get to it easier. So because I went through all of the things in that one, I'm going to back out by hitting the slash above the 3.
One new notification. 1522.
So the
Battery
top,
state,
just to review, the top
95%.
bar is your notification or your status button. The button underneath that on the left-hand side, so it's in between the notification button and the number 1 on the keypad. It's a green dot, kind of feels like a flat button. That's your OK button. That gets you into all the menus, and that's also how you answer the phone. So if you slide your finger over, you're going to find those bars I was referring to. Top one takes you up the menu, bottom one takes you down the menu. Sliding your finger again to the right, you're going to feel another one of those little braille dot thingies, and that is a repeat button. So if you
Call. 1 of 7.
tap that button,
Call. 1 of 7.
it'll tell you what the phone just said. So you know, if you missed what it said, you can hit that repeat button. Now, if you hold that button down,
Capital C A L L.
it'll spell what the phone just said. So that if you want to see how somebody's name is spelled or a city is spelled, you can hit that, hold down that repeat button and it'll spell. That button is also great for if you get a code that you have to either repeat back to somebody or put in an edit box, and it goes so fast, you can hit that, hold down that repeat button, and it'll say it slowly. It's great for also getting a phone number. And then underneath that little,
Explorer. 1 of 6. Call.
underneath
1
that
of
little
7.
button is the backslash. Backslash, I tell people, that's your best friend. That will get you out of anything you're in. So if you want to back out of a menu, hit your backslash. If you get into something that, well, I'm not really sure what that is, so maybe I'll wait and talk to somebody, hit that backslash. It'll get you out. It'll take you to the main menu. And you know you're in the main menu.
One new note.
When you hear that beep, that tells you you're in your main menu. The backslash is also how you hang up a phone call. So it's, you hit the OK to answer it, hit the backslash to hang up. So underneath our 6 buttons, our navigation buttons, we have the tactile keypad with a very pronounced dot on the number 5. On the bottom of the phone, you're going to find a standard USB-C port. So any USB-C cable will charge this as long as it is USB-C to USB. You can't use a USB-C to a USB-C. For some reason, it won't charge the phone that way. So if somebody says to you, oh, I lost my cable, just say, hey, any USB-C to USB cable will work. You probably have some for other devices. Just use that one. On the skinny side of the phone, you have your volume. It's a rocker switch.
Volume,
Goes up,
volume
goes
10.
down. On the other skinny side of the phone, the right-hand side, there's only one button over there. That's the dictation button. And I'll show you how to use that one in a bit. And then on the back of the phone, they'll find the camera. And then there's also that recess button, which is a SOS button. So you can program a phone number back there. And then if they need to call that number, they would hit that button. And then it'll ask, let's see, I'm not sure if I have anybody programmed back there, but let me see.
Do you really want to dial the emergency contact? 1 of 1.
So if I did, and I can't remember who I have there, so I'm not going to do it. You flip it over, hit that green OK button above the number 1, and then you'll call that number. So I'm going to back out of that just to clear it out. So that is pretty much the features of the phone. Let me just go through one thing with you. We're going to go through the menus by using the lower bar.
Call. 1 of 7.
So the
Volume
first one
10,
is
10,
call,
10.
but I'm going to jump to the one on the very bottom first just to show you.
Turn off the phone. 7 of 7.
So 7 of 7, I mean, that's the last thing in this menu. So 7 to 7, turn off the phone. You want to hit the OK button. It'll ask you, do you really want to turn off the phone? You hit the OK button again, and your phone will shut off. So the slash above the 3, hold it down for 3 seconds. That's how you turn it on. And to turn it off, you go through the menus to turn off the phone and hit OK. So that is pretty much the hardware of the phone. So what I thought I would start with today is calling and texting, and then we'll get into all the other applications on Thursday. So to make a phone call,
Diane,
yes.
it's Jane. I'm sorry to interrupt
Jane.
you, but I just a question came up about the length of time it takes to power on the Blindshell. And I know from my experience, it takes a pretty long time if you're just turning it on to get it to power up. And you have to just hold, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that backslash button above the 3 just needs to be held down for a pretty considerably long time. And then eventually you'll feel the vibration and hear the chime, and then you'll know it's on. But
So to turn it on, you hold the backslash for about 3 seconds and you'll feel it vibrate. What you're doing, Jane, is actually soft rebooting the phone. So if you hold it down to 15 to 20 seconds, that will do a soft reboot.
okay.
So it will turn it does turn it on, but to turn it on initially, it's just holding it down for like, well, I'll show you. Let me go to turn off the phone.
Manual 6. Contact. Call. What turn off the? Do you want? The phone is now off.
Okay. So now to turn it on, I'm just going to hold this down for. Let me make sure it's completely off. Okay. So I'm going to hold it down. I felt it vibrate within a second or two. Then it takes, actually somebody timed this, 28 seconds for it to start up.
Okay.
Which I know can feel like forever. But we're going to wait. We're going to hear the little song, and then you're going to know it's on.
Thank you for that clarification, Diane.
Yeah, sure. So I guess what I've been told is that as soon as it vibrates and you turn it on, then the word Blindshell shows up on the screen, and then you wait for the little song. And I'm actually wondering if it wasn't turned down when I did this, because it should be coming on by now. Yeah, sorry. It wasn't turned off completely when I tried it. So let me do it again. There we go. It's going to make a liar out of me. It's going to say Jane was right. Either that or my phone is dead. Let me grab a cable.
I know that I've had that experience a few times, turning on the Blindshell and thinking that, oh my gosh, it's, something's wrong with it, or it's not charged. But in fact, it is just a long,
there it goes.
Yeah,
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, so somebody who, one of our distributors actually timed it, and he said it takes 28 seconds. And I said, you have a lot of time on your hands, but thank you for letting me know that.
Volume 10.
Okay, so we're going to go through calling now.
Call 1 of 7.
So there's multiple ways to make a phone call. So from the main menu, again, where you hear beep, I can use this keypad and just dial in a number. So if I wanted to punch in a number.
Number 4 1 0 4 3 1 2 0 2 0. Dialing.
And hit the OK button, and it's going to dial. So I'm going to hang that up. So that's one way. And again, just
1531.
if somebody says, well, I
Battery
can't
state,
use this, I can't
95%.
see, just say, look, there's this really pronounced dot on number 5. Once you know where the 5 is, you can orient yourself to the rest of those buttons You know, slide your finger to the left, there's the 4. Slide it up, there's the 2. Help them orient the keys just by using that pronounced dot. So that's the one way you can make a phone call. Another way you can make a phone call is to go into the call menu. So
Call.
I'm
1 of
gonna
7.
use the bar to go down to call, and I'm gonna use the OK button above the number 1.
Dial contact. 1 of 5.
So I can either dial somebody in my contacts. So what I would do then is hit the OK button.
411 and more. 1 of
So
9.
that's just automatically programmed in there. You can take it out if somebody doesn't want a lot of clutter or it may be confusing them. So I'll show you how to do that. So when you're on that contact, you'll hear it, 411. So I'm going to hit OK.
Dial. 1 of 1. $411 and more.
They
1 of
they
9.
removed that. I can't take it out. Well, geez, oh whiz.
Dial.
Hold on.
1 of 1. 400. Bobby. 2 of 9. 411. Dial. 1 of 1.
We used to be able to take that out. So apparently we can't. So I apologize for that. So I'm going to back out.
Dialing. 411 and more.
So we're going to use the lower bar and go down
411 and more.
to our contacts.
Bobby. 2 of 9.
So if I wanted to call Bobby, I'm going to hit OK. Or
Cindy. 3 of 9.
maybe I'll call Cindy. So I'll hit OK.
Dial. 1 of 1.
So I'm going to hit OK on Cindy. And there we go.
Dialing. Cindy.
And I don't want her to answer because she's probably in this meeting. So I'm going to back out. So that's how you would
Cindy,
do it
3 of
with
9.
the dial by contacts. And it just occurred to me, I need to go to edit to be able to delete that. So I'll show you that in a minute. All right, so I'm going to back out with the slash.
Dial contact. 1 of 5.
So that was dialing by a contact. I'm going to use the lower bar and go down.
Dial number. 2 of 5.
And I'm going to hit the OK button.
Number.
And at this point, I could type in the number and hit OK, just like I did from the keypad. So I'm going to back out of that.
Dial number. 2 of 5.
So it's just a combination, it's menu driven. So it's a combination of using the bars, go up and down through the menus, selecting OK to perform the function, and then using the backslash to back out. So I'm going to continue on just to show you what else is in the call menu.
Call history. 3 of 5.
So call history, I can open that
All calls. 1 of 5.
by hitting OK.
Cindy. 1 minute ago. Outgoing call. 1 of 426.
So now if I wanted to call Cindy back, I would hit OK.
Dial. 1 of 6.
And I could call her by hitting OK on dial.
Write SMS.
I could
2
send
of
her a
6.
text message from here.
Length of the call. 0 seconds.
That will tell
3
me
of
how
6.
long the call was.
Block number.
I
4 of
could
6.
block that number. If I don't want Cindy to call me, I could block that.
Delete from history. 5 of
So
6.
I could delete her from the call history if I wanted to be sneaky and didn't want anybody to know that I called Cindy.
Delete all history.
Or now I could
6
delete
of
my
6.
entire call history as well. So I will back out.
Cindy.
So
2
all
minutes
that was
ago.
found in the
Outgoing
call,
1 of 426.
in the call menu. So I'll back
All
out.
calls. 1 of call history. 3 of 5. Call.
So I'm
1 of
just
7.
using the back button to back out. So you can dial from the keypad in the main menu. You can go into the call menu and call by your contact, or you could dial a number. Another way to make a call is to use the dictation button. So make
One new
sure
notification.
you're in your main menu here when you hear that beep, and then that button on the right hand side, the only button there, I'm going to hold it down.
I listen after a beep.
Call Diane.
1. Call Diane. Dialing. Diane.
And then it's calling. So if I'm gonna hang up. Now, if I didn't know my number, like if I didn't have myself in the contacts and I just wanted to dial a number that I knew, say somebody just gave me their number, or it's somebody that I don't call very often, I don't even want to put them in my contacts, I can do the same thing by holding that button down on the right-hand side, the only button there. Call 410-433-2020.
There are more possible actions. Call 410-433-2020. 1 of 2. Call 411 and more. Call
I see what happened. Okay.
410-433-2020.
So I'm going to
1
hit
of 2.
OK on that,
Dialing.
and it's going to start to ring that number. So I'm going to back out. And then I am.
Notification 1537.
So those
Battery
are
state,
how you would
95%.
make a phone call. So again, keypad, menu, dictation.
Call 1 of 7.
So the next thing is texting. So I'm just going to
Messages,
use the lower
2 of
bar to
7.
go down. So where it says messages, that's sending a text message. So I'm going to hit OK, that button above the number 1.
Write SMS to contact 1 of 6.
So I could write one to a contact, or if I use the lower bar,
Write SMS to number 2 of 6.
if I don't have them in my contacts, but I know their number, I could do it that way as well. So I'm going to go up.
Write SMS to contact.
And
1
I'm
of
going to
6.
hit OK.
411 and more.
And
1
I'm
of
going to go
9.
down.
Bobby 2 of 9.
And I'll send Bobby a message. I'll hit OK. So when I hit OK,
Next.
I could either use the keypad to type it, or I could dictate. So I'm going to hold down that button. Hi, Bobby, comma, how are you? Period. Just texting you during a demo. Period.
Hi, Bobby. How are you? Just texting you during a demo.
So because it said what I wanted it to say, I'm going to hit the OK button.
Send message 1 of 3.
And if I want to send it, I would hit OK on that. But my other options are,
Save to drafts 2 of 3.
if I thought, well, maybe there's something I want to add to that, I could save it to a draft.
Discard message.
Or if I
3
want to
of 3.
delete it, I could delete it. But I'm going to keep going down with my bar.
Send message.
Send it.
1 of 3.
I'm going to hit OK.
Message sent. Write SMS to contact 1 of
And
6.
then the message was sent. So I'm going to back out of messages.
Messages 2 of 7.
And then the other way that I could send a message is to hold down that button on the right-hand side. Send a message to Cindy.
Opening text message for Cindy.
So this time I'm going to type it. Whoops. I wasn't quick enough.
Messages 2 of
Sorry,
7.
let me do that again. It started the dictation thing before I got to type. Send a message to Cindy.
Opening text message for Cindy.
I think my phone is possessed.
1 new notification. Call messages. Write SMS to contact. Write SMS to number. Number 1 of 3. Send message 3 of 3.
Okay.
Write SMS to number 2 of 6.
Let me back out. I am so
Messages,
sorry. I
2
don't
of
know
7.
why my phone is not allowing me to do the typing in. Send a message to Cindy. I'm going to try one.
Opening text message for Cindy.
Hi, Cindy. I am having a hard time typing this in, so I'm going to dictate it. I think my phone is not behaving today, period. I do believe it has something to do with my connection. But anyway, here's the message. Thanks.
Hi Cindy, I am having a hard time typing this and so I'm going to dictate it. I think my phone is not behaving today. I do believe it has something to do with my connection, but anyway, here's the message. Thanks.
And because it said what I wanted to say, I could hit OK. But if it didn't and I wanted to change it, I can hit that little button under the screen, our notification or our status button. It has two functions. So now when I'm in a text box and I hit that,
Move by word.
I can move by word or
Move by character.
move by character. So if I wanted to change something,
Move by word. Thanks.
I can use those bars now.
Message. B. S. Here. Anyway.
To change a word if I
Right.
wanted to. So
Connection. My.
So if I wanted to, I could delete that word.
M. Space.
And then I could put a different word in there. So I'm going to back out of that.
H. Deleted.
So also, if I decided I didn't really want to say all that, if I hold down that slash, it will delete everything in that text box. So now I could change that and just write
Capital G. Capital H. G. H. I.
hi, and then I can hit the OK button.
Send message. 1 of 3.
And I have those same options, and I'm going to just hit OK on send.
Message sent. Messages. 2 of 7.
So that is calling and texting. So what I generally do is find out what the person's best mode is. Are they somebody who likes to dictate? Are they somebody who doesn't like to dictate, but they like to use the keypad to type it in? Some people, they don't even know how to use the keypad to type a text. So I go over that with people to say, and we'll, we do it kind of, we make it a game, because I'll say, okay, what do you want to say? And they'll say, I want to say hi, Bob. I'm like, okay, so hit the number 4 twice. And I'll say the rhythm goes tap, tap, so GH, okay, got that in. Okay, I, so remember, now hit the 4 3 times. GHI, boom, they got it in there. The space is the 0. Okay, so you want to
Contacts.
you want
3 of
to
7.
capitalize the
Messages.
B in
2
Bob.
of 7.
You go to the pound button when you're in a text box, and you cycle through all caps, 1 cap, lowercase, and numbers. So let's go to the all caps. Okay, they did that. So B, okay, hit the 2 times. And by the time we're done, they are just so excited and so proud of themselves because they never knew how to do that. And I encourage everybody to learn how to type on the keypad, because you're going to be in a situation where it's noisy and the dictation may not work. So by typing in with the keypad, that's a way to be able to do your message and not worry about the environment that surrounds you. So if somebody is able to, then teach them how to use the keypad for typing. So that is calling and texting. So I'll ask if there's any questions on those 2 features.
And encouraging everybody, if you got questions, to use the raised hand reaction button, and Vishnu will call on you. This is your opportunity if you got any questions.
I know that's a lot thrown out at you, but I think once you start using these things, it'll all make sense.
All right, going right.
Can I ask a question?
Oh, there we
Yes,
go.
go ahead, Charlie.
This is Desmond.
Hi.
Hi. So if you were to connect, say, a Bluetooth keyboard, if a person had a Bluetooth keyboard,
Yep.
could they also write the text message that way?
They can, yes. Yep.
Okay.
So people who do a lot of long texting or emails can definitely connect a keyboard. You can also connect a keyboard that has a USB-C connector if somebody would rather do that than a Bluetooth. But anytime a text box opens, you can use a keyboard to type. You can use the keyboard actually to navigate through the entire phone. I have a list of keyboard commands that will help you navigate through the phone, and I could share those if people want those as well.
Thank you.
Diane, if you can email those to me, I'll send that out to the group.
Sure.
That would be
Okay.
great. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Yep.
Next, we have a question from Stephanie. Stephanie, go ahead. You can unmute yourself.
Okay. On the putting in the SIM card. First of all, you guys gave us the Mint Mobile where we could activate the SIM card. And I've been having trouble doing that because they want a 9-digit code, and the activation code on the back of these cards is not that. So again, it may be something we can talk about offline, but if someone can help me activate my SIM card, that would be really helpful. And I don't exactly know how to put the SIM card in.
So on our phone, the way it would go in is if you take the back off of the phone and remove the battery,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to find 3 slots back there on the top underneath that recessed button.
Yep.
So you'll put it in the middle slot and then choose I believe the Mint SIM card is a 3-in-1.
Yes.
So you have to punch out the micro size, which basically just means peeling off the one outer layer, and then put the SIM card in with the cutout corner on the top left. So put it in the slot and then just push it in, making sure the cutout is the top left.
Okay. I still can't get it in, but okay.
And it should slide underneath. There's a metal piece, slide it under that. If you lay it in the slot, you should just be able to push it right in. Like the famous Eagles tush push. Just push it right in there and it'll go in.
Okay. There we go. All right. I think I got it.
Okay. Then just put the battery back in the top or the back on it and you'll be good.
Okay. So then, but then it's currently not activated. So at some point after this, if someone could reach out to me. I can't get it activated because it keeps telling me I have the wrong code.
Hey, Stephanie, this is Jane, and that activation code is located on the back of the card that's about the size of a credit card.
Yep.
And that's the one that you're using.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like the activation code I have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 digits, numbers, and letters. When I put that in, it tells me the activation code is not correct. You can find the 8 to 9 digit activation code on the card, but this is 11 digits.
Okay. All right. I'll check into that and get back to you.
Next, we have a question from A. Taurus.
Yes, hi. This
Hi.
is Ansel.
Hi, Ansel.
Yeah. Okay, so in order to access the manual for this, is it something that we can access online or somewhere?
Yes. So the manual is actually built into the phone. So if you go down through that main menu where you hear call, messages, contacts, applications, settings, the last one is manual. So you can listen to the manual that way or on our website, which I guess I don't know if Jane wants to put in the chat now, but it's blindshellusa.com, and our manual is there in a PDF and a Word format.
Okay.
Can you please repeat that one time, Diane? I'm going to type it in the chat for you.
Yep, it's Blindshell, BLINDSHELLUSA.com.
Thank you.
And just one other question. You were doing the deletion there. I know you can hit the slash, I guess is what you do when you get to where you need to be to make the deletion.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that because the chat was going off.
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay. No, what I'm saying, I'm trying to understand a couple things about the deletion. So once you navigate to the position in the text that you want to edit,
Yes,
you can press the slash
the
to
slash. Yes.
to delete.
Yes, and you can customize in the settings how you want that. Do you want the character that you're deleting to be the one that's spoken?
Right.
Do you want the character, before that to be the
Yes.
one that's you're deleting? So somebody can customize that how they want.
Okay, and you get to the settings by, is that
The settings are in the main menu as well. So then
oh, so you'd have to go to the settings first. Okay.
So you can, but you'll set it that way. So then
Uh-huh.
every time you want to use it, you'll know, okay, when I delete something, I'm hearing the last character. Or
Okay.
set, you would set it that way, and then it's permanently in that mode.
Okay. Okay, and one last question about making a phone call. If I know the name of the person that I want to call, can't I just simply press the side button and say call this person?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't necessarily have to go into the menu. It is
No,
I don't have to go in to do it. I can just
no.
Okay.
No. Yep.
Okay.
So you could do that. You could hold that button down and say call whoever.
All right.
As long as they're in your contacts.
Sounds good. Thanks so much.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we are going to take a question from Melanie Vexman. Hi, Melanie.
So I had such a hard time following because I thought I needed the SIM card. So I got in without the SIM card and then I couldn't get anything to work. So I am definitely a basics person. Can you just tell me what each of the go through what each of the things means again? The dot, the line, the dot, and then the big green dot and the line. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Yeah, and so the only thing that you need the SIM card for is the calling and texting. Otherwise, if you connect the Blindshell to Wi-Fi, you can use all the features except calling and texting. So you can still, use the Google Lookout if you wanted to remail. And I'll go through all that, but basically the only thing you need that SIM card for is the call and texting. But I'll go through the buttons again. So right underneath the screen on the left, the little, I call it a Braille dot button. That's the notification button. That's the one you press to see if you have any text messages or notifications or updates. If you use the lower bar then to go down, you'll also see the time and the date. Hit the lower bar again, you'll see Wi-Fi, hit it again, you'll see Bluetooth, hit it again, you'll see your signal strength, hit it again, and you'll see your battery level.
Wait, what are you saying I hit again? The green button? See, I know I'm
No,
trying
the lower bar, those two bars in the middle,
the
those
lower
are your navigation bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
The lower bar.
Yep.
So, and that's where I go through and
that's when you go through all the different menus, yes.
Okay, so that's where I would be able to set up the Wi-Fi.
Yes. So I'll show you how to do that actually, because it's not tricky, but it's a little deceiving. So I'm going to hit that button and I'm going to use my lower bar to go down to Wi-Fi. So right now I'm connected, but I'm going to hit OK.
Disable Wi-Fi. Network list.
So let's pretend that I'm not connected and I would need to use the lower bar to go down. Well, first it's going to say connect to Wi-Fi. You're going to hit OK. It's going to say Wi-Fi is connected, but it's not. That just means it's ready to be connected. So you're going to go down to
when you say down,
the lower bar takes you down the menu.
Signal strength. Okay. So battery strength, no notifications, but mine says Wi-Fi state disabled.
Yes, because you're not connected to your Wi-Fi. So hit OK.
Which is okay.
The green button above the number 1.
Thank you. Thank you. Good. Okay.
Okay, so now it says enable Wi-Fi, hit okay,
Yes.
Wi-Fi has been enabled.
but it hasn't. So go down with the lower bar,
Uh-huh.
Network list.
hit okay on that, hit okay on network list.
Scanning networks.
Oh,
Firebird
jeez.
guest. One of 9.
So you need to find your Wi-Fi,
Do I just keep tapping
hitting
the
the
line
lower bar, hit the lower bar
Excellent.
till you find yours,
and then okay?
and then okay, and then it's gonna ask you want to connect, hit okay,
Password.
and then it's
do-
gonna want your password.
And on here, I just know that, because I'm trying to do this as if I don't see the letters. Then
Uh-huh.
I just know that the letter number 2 has A, B, and C.
Correct. Now, if you need to switch between capitals, lowercase, and numbers, when you're in a text box like you are now, you would hit the pound button, and then that will keep hitting it, because the first thing it'll say is one cap, hit it again, all caps, hit it again, all numbers, hit it again, all lowercase.
C. U.
Okay.
So
That
once
was-
you have that password in there, you're going to hit OK. And if you don't hear within about 4 or 5 seconds that its Wi-Fi's been enabled,
S.
then you know
Uh-huh.
something is wrong, because it's real quick how it connects.
J. K. L.
Okay, while I'm doing that, can you tell me what the
Yeah.
the above line is, and then the dot on the right? Because I got the slash, but I didn't get the
Yeah.
rest.
So the bars are just the top one takes you up the menus, the bottom one takes you down the menus.
Uh-huh.
So the one on the right is a repeat button. If you tap it,
Network list. 2 of 4.
it'll say what the phone just said, but if you hold it down, it spells it.
Capital N E T W O R K space L I S T.
So that's if you wanted to access a phone number slower, or if you want to get one of those codes that they sent you, or if you want to know how somebody's name is spelled, you can use that button.
Connecting to iPad.
Okay, wow. I think you have given me what
You
I
have
needed.
connected.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We are going to now call on Tiffany Green.
Hi, Miss Tiffany.
Hello.
Hello.
That was a great presentation.
Yeah.
I just have a couple of questions. When you are using the side button, I noticed that if you hold it down for like 2 or 3 seconds and it vibrates and you let it go, you're still able to dictate, so you don't have to hold that button down continuously when dictating. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes. So when you are just saying, when I'm in the main menu and I want to say, call Bob, whatever, it'll just take a couple seconds and it'll call Bob. If I'm dictating a message, like an actual, hi, how are you, blah, 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 hold the button down, and when it beeps, you can let the button go. Of course, my
Plus
phone's
1
ringing.
8 4 4 7 0
Let
9
me
3
get rid of
6
this
8
person.
2.
There we go.
Messages.
Who calls a demo phone during a demonstration? Seriously. So, okay. So if you hold, you can tap the button, it'll beep, say your message. You can let it go after it beeps, but then once you're done with your message, you could tap the button again, the dictate button or the OK button. Either one will do the same thing. Stops the recording. That's one of the biggest challenges that I have with people who have never used dictation before, because they'll hold it down. They'll say, oh, hi, Mildred. What time are we going to play cards today? And then if they don't hear it, immediately come back to they're like, well, I said it. It's not saying anything. Why isn't this phone saying what I wanted it to say? And all that is being recorded. So then I'm like, hit the button again, tap the button again. So they tap it again, and then we have to delete all that extra stuff. So when you hold it down and then it beeps, say what you want to say, tap it again to stop the recording.
Okay. Alrighty, thank you.
Sure.
I had another question, but it may be a little bit too. It may be for the next session. So
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
thank you.
We'll take a question from Marguerite.
Awesome. Thank you, Diane, for the
Hey, Marguerite.
presentation.
Sure, thanks.
I have a quick question. My phone keeps sounding like it's taking a picture. I'm not sure why.
Okay, so thank you for bringing that up. What that is it's a screensaver. So it does that to save the battery, which, by the way, lasts about 90 hours between charges. So you only have to charge it every couple of days. Basically, that click means I'm going to sleep because you're not doing anything. So any button will wake it up.
Okay. Thank you for that. I was like,
Sure,
what's
thanks.
going on here? I'm not touching it. What's it doing?
All right.
We have one question in the chat. Is there a quick command to turn off the phone, or do I have to go through the menus?
You pretty much have to go through the menu. Sometimes, let me try it. I can't guarantee it'll work, but let me just try it.
Actually, I was struggling with this when I was
Turn
at
off the
the
phone.
in-person session. I could not get to the menu.
Opening turn off the phone.
So
Do
you
you want to turn off the phone?
so you
One of
can
one.
do that with the side button and say turn
Okay.
off the phone, and then you still have to hit the OK to turn it off.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
So,
Diane.
but I'm going to caveat that with one thing.
Hmm.
This is a beta phone, so I get updates that other people don't get. So I'm not sure if that's if everybody can do that yet, or if that's coming in a future system update. So try it. If it works, then it works. If it doesn't, then you'll know it's coming.
We'll have one more question from Craig from Empower.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Diane. Awesome
Hi, Craig.
presentation.
Thank you.
I just wanted to first just add that there's for those who are sighted, there's a host of online reviews that you can supplement as well. But I have a question as far as support. I'm pretty sure we'll get calls regarding your regarding the product and things like that. Both University of Maryland as well as Empower. Now, there's going to come some issues that perhaps we can't resolve. What would you recommend that would be the best process? Of course, we're going to do our due diligence to look at the support site, and we already have a plan to, create some knowledge-based articles and things like that. But beyond that, once we've done our due diligence to support, what would you recommend as a process as far as, escalation for resolution or how-tos?
So you could either call me at Blindshell, or you could email me, and if Vishnu is ready, I could give you that information to put in the chat.
Go ahead.
Okay, so our phone number is 833-972-2020, or you can email me, Diane, Diane, at blindshellusa.com. Truthfully, emailing me will probably get you a quicker response.
Got it. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks.
We have a question from Jane.
Hello. Yep.
Hi.
Just piggybacking on what Marguerite was asking about the clicking and the screensaver. Can you set different times for that, Diane?
You can. Yes.
Yeah.
If you go
Okay.
into settings, you can change that.
Okay.
I think it's called screen timeout.
Okay.
And I'll go over all those settings the next time.
Great. All right.
All right. We have one more hand raised from Jasmine Jackson.
Sorry, can you all hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. So I was just kind of going back to the question about shutting down. And you're probably going over this, Diane, but I found that pressing the numbers, if you learn like the numbers on the main screen, so I found that hitting the number 7 would jump you to that shutdown menu option really quick. And that way you don't have to cycle through the menus like all the options.
Yes, that is absolutely correct. You could do that in any menu. Yes.
That was my question too.
Okay.
All right. Looks like we got through all the questions. And now I am putting Blindshell contact number and Diane's email address in the chat. So yeah, we have one more question from Taurus. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Just before you go, I don't want to hold people up, but so I'm hearing talk about activation. I haven't used the Blindshell that much so far, but it seems to be working for me. Is there something additional I have to do? Because I'm hearing
If you
about this
wanted, yeah.
8-digit number.
Yeah, if you wanted to be able to use it to actually make a phone call and send a
Oh,
text
okay.
message, then you would activate it. Otherwise, you're right. You could do everything.
Oh, okay. Good deal. Thanks.
Yep.
Okay, I just entered Blindshell contact number and Diane's email in the chat. And I think we have all the questions answered. I'm just going through the chats. We did go over how to turn the phone on. There's a question that says Blindshell mobile is completely free, then for service if approved. We did answer the question about SIM card. And we have a question from Tiffany Green. Go ahead, Tiffany.
Yes, is there a way to put the phone on vibrate, so that if you're in a, meeting or something and you don't want to hear it ring, but you want to.
Yep. So I'll show you that. So get in your main menu where you hear it beep, hold down the pound button.
Change of sound profile.
Then use your lower bars.
Vibration only not selected. Ringtone without vibrations not selected. Silent without vibrations not selected. Airplane mode not selected. Ringtone and vibration selected. 1 of 5.
So you can cycle through those and hit OK on the one you want, and then use the backslash to back out of that.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sure, thanks.
All right, I think this was an awesome training. I know I definitely learned a lot, Diane. You are an amazing instructor. And
well, I may be, but my phone isn't, so doesn't always cooperate with me sometimes.
Yes,
but thank you.
And so I look forward on our Thursday session where I think we're going to do a deeper dive on Blindshell phone, getting more into the settings and some of the other neat features of the phone.
Exactly.
All right, so I'm going to stop the recording, and we'll be sharing a survey with all of you. So please fill that out so we can continuously improve our presentations and use that for our upcoming events through the series. And thank you all. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Diane. Thank you, Diane. That was fantastic. Bye-bye, everybody.
Afternoon.